This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone? And welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac morning show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors and Locked On 49ers postcast as well. But tonight was all about the Rafael Devers debut for the San Francisco Giants, and he made an immediate impact. But the Giants just couldn't get the win over the Guardians, losing 3-2 at Oracle Park. They had the bases juiced in the bottom of the ninth, and they just could not get that run in. Dom Smith lifted one to left field, but not quite deep enough to get Jung-Hoo Lee in. And despite generating 10 hits in this game, the Giants were just 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Somebody has to step up. That isn't Rafael Devers, and it's been one game in, and we're already going to have to talk about that. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed, and however you're tuning in, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And this one, I mean, all eyes were on Rafael Devers, not just in this game, but through the entirety of today. The Giants had the grand introductory press conference for him. They literally rolled out the orange carpet onto the field from over by where the cars are on the left field wall, that little tunnel that goes back there. They rolled out a orange carpet for Rafael Devers to walk out and greet his teammates. They had the fog machines going. They had, all the music going. It was a whole introduction. But before that, prior to that, when they introduced him to the media, he had, like 15 to 20 players at the introductory press conference. It was pretty unprecedented, and it was more of a celebration, it seemed like, than a press conference. The media was sitting there clapping for him half the damn time. I mean, I would have been doing the same thing if I was in that crowd, but still, that's just the vibe that Rafael Devers has given the Giants, and it's kind of indicative with how we're starting the show. I'm pretty upbeat for talking about a team that just lost their third consecutive game and fourth game in the last 5. But I do have a lot of hope for the direction the Giants are going in. But let's get into it. Let's discuss what happened today. Devers, an immediate impact. His second at bat, first at bat, he was trying to hit one into the water. It seemed like just trying to really muscle up and send one to the moon. But he settled in after that first strikeout in that first at bat, and he doubled in the third inning. He roped one after an Adames walk into the right center field gap. Adames scored. First hit as a Giant for Rafael Devers, and it's just a taste of what to come from this guy. He's had the most extra base hits in all of baseball since 2019. More than Shohei Ohtani, more than Freddie Freeman, more than Jose Ramirez, Pete Alonso, Aaron Judge, any name you want to throw out there. Rafael Devers has more extra base hits since 2019 than all of those other guys. And he just delivers again in this situation. Adames scores. It puts the Giants in the lead 2-1 at that point, because they had scored in the first inning after Dom Smith singled to score Jung-Hoo Lee. By the way, that was their only hit with the runner in scoring position for the entire game. So after the first inning, 0 hits with runners in scoring position. That was very rough to watch, but it wasn't due to a lack of production from guys like Devers, because he had those 2 hits. Well, that one hit that we just talked about, but his second hit was very important for the Giants as well tonight, because in the ninth inning, bottom of the ninth, it was a clutch at bat, singled to left field after a Jung-Hoo Lee single to left field to start the inning. So that put the runner in scoring position, the tying run for the game in the bottom of the ninth. Ramos was able to work the walk, and he flipped the bat all emphatically. He did that a couple times tonight. I'm kind of getting a little bit of a vibe from Elliot Ramos on these walks now. Maybe this is just going to be a thing now, kind of like we got the Soto shuffle. Maybe now it's the Ramos bat flip. Got to workshop some nicknames for that one, but it's entertaining to watch. Flips it and it spins all fast like a windmill. It looks like on the NBC Sports Bay Area broadcast. It's fun for sure, but I don't think that the opposing pitchers are gonna appreciate that too much. but there's a lot of that goes on in today's game, entertainment more than anything else. But anyways, bases loaded for Dom Smith, and he lifts one to medium deep left field, and Lee starts and stops, goes back to third base. Stephen Kwan's arm is awesome. It's one of the best in Major League Baseball. I've already seen people going back and forth and debating whether or not Lee should have sent it on that play. And I don't think he should have. I think that it was a smart decision to try and give yourself another chance, because I think Jung-Hoo Lee would have been out on the play. Stephen Kwan's arm is one of the best in all of Major League Baseball. And it's not, I mean, to my eyes, it looked like Jung-Hoo Lee was going to be out by a couple feet. I don't think it would have been particularly close on that play should he have tried to tag and score on that play from third base. So I don't disagree with the decision for Jung-Hoo Lee to go back to third and give Casey Schmidt the opportunity to drive him in, which did not end very well. Ends on a bases loaded strikeout. You never want to see that happen. This was a golden opportunity for the Giants to win, and it would have just put a nice little cherry on top of the celebration that today really was. But really, there were a few other moments in this one that led us to that ninth inning. Let's go to the top of the ninth, because Ramos made a great play, and the Giants would not have had an opportunity to come back in that bottom of the ninth. That opportunity wouldn't have even been presented if Elliot Ramos did not throw out Arias, who was trying to tag on the play. Basically, we would have seen a replay of the top of the ninth inning if Jung-Hoo Lee tried to run and score in the bottom of the ninth inning on that Dom Smith fly ball to left field. But in the top of the ninth, Ramos fires one to the plate. And I mean, great catch by Porter to deliver the tag on that play too. It's phenomenal play at catcher. And they got him by just a millimeter, man. Like, they reviewed it and it was confirmed to be an out. And it was just an incredible throw by Ramos, an incredible catch and tag by Porter. And it preserved that 1-run lead. And it was a double play to end the inning. It was a huge momentum shift for the Giants. So that was a great situation for the Giants to be in. Apologies for my Slack notification there. But anyways, the Giants, they've been not playing the best baseball record-wise lately, but you kind of start to believe in this team. You just need somebody else to step up. And I mean, we're not going to be able to sit here and say, let's just wait for Matt Chapman forever. But I will reiterate, when Matt Chapman comes back, this lineup is going to look very fearsome, especially if Chapman can come back with kind of where he was at before the injury. Hopefully it doesn't take him too long to get adjusted at the plate again, because he was red hot, man. But you just need somebody on this team to start showing up. And Willy Adames had a couple hits in this one. Jung-Hoo Lee had a hit and a walk. Willy Adames on base 3 times tonight. That's pretty solid for a guy who's still just trying to get that batting average up to a respectable number. It's sitting at 206, but he has been playing a lot better. Had a pretty solid road trip, and he's delivering so far in this homestand. 2 for 4 tonight with a run scored and a walk. So like I said, on base 3 times in this one. And the Giants had plenty of opportunities. It was, like I said, 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That was the big reason why they lost. But Robbie Ray, he didn't have a terrible game. I'm not going to blame this loss on Robbie Ray, but he wasn't as sharp as he has been. And I want to discuss if this is becoming a trend or not. Another home run from Robbie Ray today. We'll get into that on the other side of the Locked On Giants postcast. Plus, we got to give you today's player of the game, and we got to get into today's turning point as well. All that coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is jam-packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, Their free Trademaster program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM. Start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's SH5 for 5% off your first order. Supplyhouse.com. And today's show is brought to you by OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Nope, you called the next one. And that's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need OpenPhone. OpenPhone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. If you're used to juggling 2 phones, you can put that in the past. OpenPhone keeps business and personal calls separate. They solve that problem for you instantly. Your whole team can share one number and respond to customers in a shared inbox. No more Slack emails, as I just got, or Slack notifications, as I just got a few minutes ago, wondering who's going to handle this. And the AI agent handles all after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads, so I never miss a customer again. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Giants listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OpenPhone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and tonight the Giants can't get it done against the Guardians, but Rafael Devers did look nice. We got to get into his introductory press conference, but first we got to make him today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And we got to give it to Devers. I mean, there's a couple, I guess you could make an argument for Adames. He was on base 3 times in this one, and maybe Mike Yastrzemski, who came up with 3 hits, although he didn't score a run or have an RBI. But we're going to give it to Rafi Devers because that hit in the 9th inning was very clutch, and also that RBI double was just a rocket, man, just a missile. And there were all these questions in the pregame press conference, which occurred, a couple hours before the game tonight. And a lot of questions were basically centered around, do you think you can hit here in this park still? And he kind of just kept saying the baseballs are the same, which I thought was pretty funny. But Buster Posey eventually just chimes in and says, hitters can hit. He's a hitter. He's just going to hit. And that's exactly what I saw from Rafael Devers today. He went the other way in his 9th inning at bat. He roped one into the gap in that 3rd inning at bat, that double. And he hit that thing 111 miles an hour. I mean, he roped that. It was the hardest hit ball in today's game. And he's going to continue to do stuff like that. And just a couple other moments while we're on the topic from today's introductory press conference, we did all kind of wonder, one of the main questions was, will he play first base? Is he going to be willing to do that for the Giants? He was not willing to do that for the Red Sox. And Rafael Devers reiterated multiple times, anywhere they want me to play, I will play. He said he wants to give his 100%. He said this multiple times throughout the press conference. Bob Melvin, when he was asked what Rafael Devers said to him, reiterated the same thing, that he told us he will play anywhere and he will give 100% wherever he is at. So he is going to play first base. You saw pregame, he was taking some ground balls at first base. So this is going to be where he plays defensively, first base and designated hitter, obviously. So Rafael Devers is going to have to take some time to get used to playing in the field again, because that's not something he's done at all this season. He's played very, very, very little. I don't think he's played any games at all in the field this year for the Red Sox, but he's just not been out there. And he's going to need some time to get adjusted, especially at a new position for him. So I don't expect this to be an immediate transition. So we will see how long it takes him to get incorporated over there. Also, doesn't look like he's going to be used at third base, maybe at all, until Matt Chapman gets back, which I thought might have been on the table for the Giants. But it looks like they're just going to roll with Fitz at second base and Casey Schmidt at third base, and and Rafael Devers / Wilmer Flores at DH and Dom Smith at first. So that looks to be the plan going forward. But at that press conference, there were so many players present, 15 to 20 current Giants players, some former Giants players, including Barry Bonds in attendance, most notably. And Rafael Devers jokingly said, just looking at Barry already has made me a better hitter. So it was some fun moments, and it just seemed very much so like a celebration of Rafael Devers. I mean, this is really the guy that the Giants have tried to go and sign every offseason for the last I don't know how many years now, countless number of years since the Giants have really pursued aggressively these big bats in the offseason. They come up short time and time and time again. And this was Buster Posey's pivot to that. He was able to go out and trade for this guy who's under team control for damn near a decade. And he's really got a team-friendly deal when you consider what he would be worth in the open market. So Buster Posey, a phenomenal execution of this trade. And it puts the Giants in a very, very, very good position, not just to win for the future, but to win right now. And I think that was kind of the vibe that everyone was getting from this press conference. And it was just a very, very fun, like I said, almost celebration of Rafael Devers to watch. And he also mentioned that he chose the number 16 to wear. Shout out Angel Pagan. He said that he chose to wear 16 because he wore it in the minor leagues and he played well in it. And so, I mean, Rafael Devers is just like all of us. If something's working, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He obviously could not wear number 11 with the Giants because that is a retired number with the San Francisco Giants. But 16, I like it. And shout out Edgar Renteria as well. So hopefully he lives up to the billing, because he has been pretty good in his very limited time with the Giants so far. Only one game in, but we like what we see. We also got to talk about Robbie Ray before we get on out of here. And I'm kind of concerned that Robbie Ray might have a little bit of a problem giving up some of these home runs, because this is now the second time in the last 3 games that he has given up a home run. And we know that he kind of has a tendency to do that in his career. He's done that very sparingly this year. He's been very, very, very good at limiting home runs. But in the beginning of this season, it was a little rough. He gave up home runs in his first 4 of his first 5 starts. The only start that he did not give up a home run in was that 4-inning win that he got at Yankee Stadium. That was that rain shortened game that was only 6 innings. So it was sopping wet out there, and the ball probably felt like it weighed 100 pounds. And that's why he didn't give up a home run out there, because that ball was so damn wet and heavy, wasn't really going to go anywhere. So for Robbie Ray, that was a trend at the beginning of the season. Then he locked in, and he went through the entire month of May without giving up a home run. Before this month started, he was really on a roll, and he still is, for the most part, rolling, but the walks have started to creep back in. The strikeouts have started to dip a little bit. Second consecutive game with just 5 strikeouts. It's kind of low for what we've been seeing from him. He only had 1 game with 5 strikeouts in the month of May. He did win the National League Pitcher of the Month in May, so we're not expecting a duplicate of that month, but it's got to come back down to earth a little bit. But we want to make sure that Robbie Ray's staying on the right track, not starting to lose control with that fastball. You saw him kind of missing a little bit, not as crisp as he has been in the past couple starts. So I don't think it's time to worry by any stretch of the imagination about Robbie Ray. Just something to kind of keep an eye on, and that's kind of what I'm feeling after this start for him. For the Giants, I'm also not very concerned. My concern level for the Giants right now is not very high at all, and I think that's what you're going to be talking about after this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
It's not a big deal that the Giants, and I can't believe I'm saying this, have lost 3 in a row and 4 of the last 5. It's really not a big deal. The Giants are still sitting 9 games over 500. You got a very favorable schedule ahead for the next couple weeks until you have to play Philadelphia. Those are all very winnable series, and the Giants could definitely win that series against the Phillies as well. And then you have one more series before the All-Star break, and that's against the Dodgers. And you have a chance to win that one too. It was very close last time, and they didn't have Rafael Devers, and they're going to be playing this one at home. So I think the Giants have an opportunity to win all of these series, really, until the All-Star break. Obviously, some are going to be a little bit less tense than others. That Dodger series is going to be, loud at Oracle Park. It is going to be a battle in the stands just as much as it is on the field, but it is going to be entertaining. And the Giants, like I said, have a great opportunity ahead of them to start winning some of these games in some of these series. And furthermore, the Giants, they're not very good in these series openers at home. They're just 4-7 on the season in series openers at home. However, they're 6-3-1 in home series. So the Giants, I think, are going to be just fine in this series against the Guardians. I think that you have definitely an opportunity to win this series still. It's not the first time that the Giants have lost the first game of a home series this season, and they have won quite a few of them. So the Giants are going to have an opportunity tomorrow to get back on track, and let's hope they do, because this one, it didn't go the right way for Rafael Devers. We want to be able to celebrate a Rafael Devers on the field win for the Giants, that with Willie Adames and all his other new buddies out there with the Giants. It's going to be a great time to watch this team continue to win games, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Real quick, one more thing before we get on out of here. We forgot to get this in earlier. Tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
In this one, we could have gone in a lot of different areas. We talked about one big turning point in that ninth, the bottom of the ninth inning, when Jung-Hoo Lee was not able to score on that fly ball to left field. But I really think the turning point in this one came in that bottom of the eighth inning. Nobody on. You have the tying run at second base, and Casey Schmidt is doubled up. Line drive to left field. Schmidt strays way too far away from second base, and it just killed the Giants' scoring chances. It sucked some of the life out of that stadium. And really, if it wasn't for Ramos making that great play from left field in the top of the ninth, it kind of would have stayed flat going into the bottom of the ninth. And I don't think the Giants would have had the momentum that they did. And I don't think it would have even gotten to the point that it did, where the Giants had an opportunity to not only tie this game, but win this game in the bottom of the ninth inning, which they, of course, were not able to do. But my point is, I don't even think we get that far along if you don't have that Ramos play in the top of the ninth. You also would have maybe not needed to lose this game if Casey Schmidt didn't get doubled up on that play. So that was a very rough situation for the Giants. But like I said, not their only opportunity. 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position today, and you left 13 on base. One hit, Dom Smith, in the first inning. So you go 8 innings without a hit with runners in scoring position. That is very, very, very tough to win a baseball game that way. Giants got to step up at the plate when you got these chances. That's all it is. We will see if they can get back on track tomorrow, and we will be coming to you live afterwards, as we always do, on the Locked On Giants postcast. Make sure you check out the Locked On Giants daily show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a phenomenal job. That's all the time that we got for you guys today. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.